All right, hey everybody. So today we are going through the nephron. Last time we were together, we talked about blood flow and that it just went to the nephron. That's how we said. Nephron is pretty complicated, as you can see from this picture. Nephron is an incredibly important unit of the kidney for the filtration function of the kidney. Um, so we're going to look at a few things with the nephron. We'll come back to it when we look at urine. There's a few things that you do need to know, and I do the same thing that you did for the kidney, is that I'd write all this stuff down. This is a collecting duct over here. Okay, there's nothing down here. So you can get most of it just on this picture. And you can just leave this. I wrote a whole bunch of stuff, and I'm like, nope, it's the interlobular artery. This one, though, it says interlobar vein on yours. You need to change that to interlobular. But label everything. I think I added a couple more on here and some definition of things, just like some big points on there that you might want to know. So when you're looking at this, make sure you know the difference between the red and the yellow. Red is blood flow, yellow is urine pathway. And I would definitely do the red, because when you look at these, if they're both gray, it's hard to tell when you're looking at all this stuff what are the arteries and what are the veins. I could have done the capillaries a different color. I did not, but I'll talk about those as we go through them. All right, so we're talking about blood flow. When you're coming into that nephron, you're coming in through those small, so fancy words, interlobular arteries. The interlobular arteries, when it gets to the nephron part, is going to the glomerulus. So we have the words afferent and efferent in front of arterioles, which we already know with blood vessel information, going from arteries to smaller arterioles to very smallest capillaries, and then coming back through venules, veins, to the vena cava in the heart. But when you're looking at this, make sure you know the difference between red and yellow. But this is going interlobular artery. Then it's going to enter into the glomerulus, which is that filtration part. It looks like a red waffle fly in here. I keep saying fly, sorry. Fry on here. And blood enters through the afferent arteriole. So afferent, just like in the nervous system and neurons, afferent neurons go to the brain, afferent arterioles go to the glomerulus. Then this part's a little bit weird because we're still talking about an artery right here, arteriole. After it leaves that glomerulus, then we're using the efferent, or it's moving away from it, and it's going out to the efferent arteriole. And then this blood flows and it goes through the peritubular capillaries. The peritubular capillaries are really important because when we're filtering, our kidneys are filtering out this blood that is in the glomerulus, it gets rid of all this stuff. Where does all that stuff go? It goes to the Bowman's capsule. And this is where urine production actually begins. And then we're going to see that it goes through these renal tubules. So there's stuff that's in these renal tubules that the blood filtered out that it's like, hey, you know what? I need that back. I need that back for homeostasis reasons. And that can be hormonally changed also. But the peritubular capillaries, if the blood needs anything back from these renal tubules, it is going to get it from those I don't know if I said that right. These peritubular capillaries are going to get anything that was filtered out that it needs and reabsorb that back into the blood, into those capillaries. Okay. So then we can see that these peritubular capillaries then kind of take this crazy trip. Okay. This whole thing down here, this is called the loop of Henle. And what we're really looking at is this webbing in between these renal tubules. This vasta recta. The vasta recta is the blood vessel part where we're having this renal tubule go through just to see if there's anything else that we can pick up from that urine that's in there. Okay, so we go to the vasta recta, and then eventually you're going to see that we're moving out of that interlobular vein. Then you're going to go, out, and then to the way that you know before, the arcuate vein, the interlobar vein, and then eventually out the renal vein. So that's blood flow. All the rest of this stuff we're going to talk about with urine formation, which we'll talk about next time we're together. All right, so let's go through it really quickly one more time. We're going interlobular artery, afferent arteriole to the glomerulus, where all that filtration happens, filtration of stuff into the Bowman's capsule. Then blood flows to the efferent arteriole through these peritubular capillaries and vasta recta, which, if it needs to reabsorb any nutrients from the urine production in the renal tubules, that's what happens there. And then it's going to go out the interlobular vein, interlobular vein to the arcuate vein, interlobar vein, and then to the renal vein. All right. If you have any questions, please make sure you ask, and take care. Bye.